Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So overnight yesterday, the market completely crashed. Now, I am recording this a little bit ahead of time in terms of the actual prices that you do see on the list, but that's not really the big focus here. In fact, I actually want to focus on what's been happening over the last couple weeks since roughly the local tops in December. Right now, if we look at the 90-day percentages in this space, there is a lot of green in the top 100, but there's also a lot of red. Right now, there's a lot of mixed emotions in this space where you have a lot of people that are very bullish, but you also have a lot of people that are extremely peak negative and bearish. And that's because a lot of these projects right now in this space are absolutely sold off completely. They're crashed. They're down to, like, even for an example, the graph, right? I'll just grab the graph for an example here. This thing is back to lows that we have not seen on this chart since going back to roughly, October, August roughly of last year. But also, if we go back all the way to the bear market, I mean, these lows were hit during the bear market as well. So when we think about sentiment right now in this space, it's like peak bearish. Like, there's so much negativity. There's a lot of doubt that we're ever going to see any positive price action. And it's because of what we are seeing right now. Number one, right? Stocks. So stocks just sold off heavily. $927 billion was wiped out of the US stock market on the 21st. This was its worst day of 2025. Now, on top of this, we also got a massive hack in crypto. Bybit, $1.4 billion worth of Ethereum and staked Ethereum was stolen. This is now the largest crypto exchange hack in history. Now, if we think about this, okay, let's go over here to the top exchanges. Bybit is number 2. $1.4 billion. Let me just say that one more time. $1.4 billion was just stolen. How did the market react? Well, Bitcoin definitely sold off, but how deep did it go? It went down to $95,000 from roughly almost 100K. Think about how crazy that is. $1.4 billion, the largest hack in crypto history. And by the way, we got an update from the co-founder and CEO of Bybit. So, since the hack 10 hours ago, Bybit has experienced the most number of withdrawals that we have ever seen. We have had a total number of more than 350,000 withdrawals requests. So far, around 2,100 withdrawal requests left to be processed. Overall 99.994% withdrawals have been completed. If your withdrawals are completed, please leave a comment here. Although we have been hit by the worst hack possibly in the history of any medians, banks, crypto, finance, but all Bybit functions and products remain functional, and the whole team have been awake all night to process and answer client questions and concerns. All hands on deck. Rest assured, we are here for you. Now, here we also have another update. 12 hours from the worst hack in history, all withdrawals have been processed. Our withdrawal system is now fully back to normal pace. You could withdraw any amount and experience no delays. Thanks for your patience, and we are sorry that this has happened. Bybit will come out with the full incident report as well as security measurement in the next few days. I will also personally keep you all posted on any new updates. Thanks to all the clients, friends, and partners that have helped and supported us during this excruciating 12 hours. Now, if we think about this, this is one of the worst hacks in history. Bybit still operational, still good. Everything was processed. There was no problems at all. This is night and day compared to FTX, for an example. And the reason for this is because we now have reserves of these exchanges on chain. We could track all of this. This is very important because now we know that these exchanges are solvent, or at least when and if they are, which is a very good sign. If they are, of course, including financial reserves. If an exchange is not reporting their financial reserves, do not trust them at all. And I mean at all. But we actually have a post that I resonated well with because this is exactly my thought process on this. So this is actually from Crypto Nagato. And we have, yesterday we witnessed the largest hacking in history of the magic internet money industry, at least in terms of nominal value stolen. Events like these usually nuke prices across the board in a pretty significant way. But yesterday, just another day in the trenches. Besides some volatility, nothing crazy happened. Yes, the market got dragged back to early weeks levels, but that's about it. All this to say, when even an event of this scale plus a massive sell-off in US equities barely shakes the crypto market, you need to pay attention. Now pair this with the macro picture that has been developing recently, and if you're sane, I don't see how you can be bearish here. A big reversal is coming in my opinion. Don't get caught off guard. And yeah, I completely agree. Right now, XRP is trading at about roughly almost $2.60 at the time, of course, I am recording this. It did sell off down to about $2.51, but that's about it. It dropped by like 20 cents. That's about it. Now you might say, well, Nick, 20 cents is a big, drop. It definitely is. But if we compare that to some of the previous price action on, XRP, let's go back to like the 30th all the way to like the 2nd of February. This was a substantial drop on XRP. This was like $1 drop. That's a big sell-off. But so far, the market has barely been shaken by all of this news, which I find crazy. Now, also, when we look at the fear and greed index, we're still at about 38, still in fearful levels. At the same exact time that if we look at the crypto market itself, we have been just chopping sideways for over a month now, and it has been a while. I mean, realistically speaking, if we look at this thing on the 1 year, we've been chopping sideways since the beginning of December. So throughout this entire time, we've been hit with bearish, update after bearish update after bearish update, bearish headlines, hacks, yet the total crypto market cap looks like this. And by the way, even ETF flows have been pretty negative for the last 30 days. It's been about 59.3 million outflows. Also, the top 100 index in the last 30 days is down. This hit a high recently, going back to the middle of, December, 230.22, and we're down to 195.92. Which, again, you could see how red everything has been. Even when we look at the altcoin market, this is a good one to really kind of look at. There's a lot of green here, sure. But look at all of the red, and these are deep, deep losses. The high, 40 plus, 30 plus, 20 plus. I mean, it's pretty substantial. So when we think about sentiment's dead. Now, is all of this just a typical, market cycle? It definitely is. But also, I do find a lot of this very, very suspicious. Why? What I put a post on X yesterday, actually, and I said, am I the only one who finds it very odd that every single time that we are about to break out, something ridiculous happens? The president of the United States launches a meme coin and crashes the market. Then we got Melania coin, which also crashed the market. Then the market starts to rebound and boom, Libra launches and rugs crashing the market. Over the last few days, we watched as Bitcoin chopped its way back to 100K and then Bybit gets hacked for over 1 billion plus. I personally see a lot of these events as manipulation. It feels like the sentiment is worse than FTX and COVID. The craziest part about that, though, is that Bitcoin is still at 90K plus, and a lot of altcoins are still at levels people wish they were a year or two ago. In my opinion, it feels like we are at that engineered point of the cycle where the whales and the big players determine what happens next. Markets don't top on frustration and depression. Remember that, especially when we start to see euphoria again. And yeah, listen, when we look at Bitcoin, These are all of the events that we just went through since going back to January 17th. Here we have the Trump coin launch, and this is when things started to kind of cool off. We could see that we're at peak, resistance on Bitcoin going back to December. So at resistance, we get Trump coin launch, Melania coin launch, FemX is, hacked as well. And we're still chopping against that resistance, selling off. Then we get the Libra launch, which didn't sell off, too much. I mean, if we think about, how this reacted on Bitcoin, Bitcoin dropped about 5.5% roughly almost. And then Bybit got hacked. And this caused a roughly 4.65% sell-off. Guys, if you've been in crypto long enough, you know that a 5% drop is absolutely nothing. Let's go back to just March of last year, where Bitcoin literally sold off 33% total, and it did not happen in one swing. No, it happened over the course of months. That was very, very annoying, frustrating, and even depressing to even be in crypto during that entire time. Now, we are trading at $96,000, and all of these events have only allowed Bitcoin to drop a total of 15.2%, which is showing us that there's a lot of volume and there's a lot of interest behind crypto right now. Even the total, guys, this is the total market cap of crypto. Like I said prior, what are we doing here? We're just chopping, waiting for that big breakout to happen on the total. And I do believe that it's going to. This next reversal is going to be absolutely massive because we just hit peak bearish levels. I mean, what better headline to have us completely bottom out on than the second largest crypto exchange got hacked for $1.4 billion, making it historically the largest crypto hack in history. What better headline to bottom out on than that? It reminds me of FTX. It reminds me of going all the way back to 2020. And then it's not even just about Bybit getting hacked. It's also about stocks getting wiped out. Almost $1 trillion wiped from the market. The worst day of 2025. You seriously can't make this up. It's all bearish headlines, articles, events. Meanwhile, this is what the price chart looks like. This is what the total looks like. I mean, if you told me, all right, check out this chart, tell me what you think is going to happen, I would say, all right, well, let's look at it. We have that nice impulsive move, followed by another impulsive move, followed by chop. Guess what? We've seen this many times before. In fact, Bitcoin showed us this many times before. We have the first major impulse, the second major impulse, the last major impulse. The next one after that was higher highs, followed by higher lows. And when we think about that, look at where we're at right now on the total. Okay, impulse, 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 higher lows. Now we just wait for the highs to be taken out to create higher highs. It could not be more, simplified than that. It's completely simplified down to the key of look at the structure. Is the structure bullish? Well, going off of the structure, going back to the beginning of February, with all of these big events that should have technically crashed us to lower lows, we still are trading at higher lows. All we're waiting for is higher highs to be taken out. This next impulse is building behind the scenes. And yes, I also do believe that XRP is going to perform very well during this next impulse because it has been so far this year one of the strongest altcoins, but also this cycle, it's been outperforming almost everything. Throw in Bitcoin, it's outperformed Bitcoin. Throw in, Ethereum, it's outperformed Ethereum. It's not even a close battle. All right, throw in, let's throw Solana in there. Again, it has outperformed Solana. I mean, XRP, it's one of the strongest altcoins right now. So when we see the market rebound completely, XRP will wake up in a big way. And yes, it will break over those previous highs. So with that being said, if you guys did enjoy this video, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.